Hey friends, happy Saturday, the 23rd of April, Saturday of the octave of Easter. It's nice to be with you. Father Bill Hill, one of the priests at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. Getting close to the end of the 8-day party of Easter, and then we have the 50-day celebration as well. But the octave of Easter, it takes us 8 days to rejoice at the empty tomb of Christ. If you'd like to, we'd love to have you join us tomorrow, St. Cyril and Methodius, 3 o'clock, to conclude the Divine Mercy Novena. That'll be bilingual, English and Spanish, and a great opportunity for us as a community to be with each other and to cap off this Divine Mercy thing. Even if you didn't do the novena, still awesome if you wanted to come and to pray. Okay, Acts of the Apostles and then Mark's Gospel, story of the resurrection. This will be the last synoptic gospel we get, and then after this we're going to be rolling with John's Gospel at daily Mass, daily readings for the rest of the Easter season, all right? Acts of the Apostles. This is the conclusion of the 4 or 5 day story that we've been working on this week of John and Peter healing the man with the disability at the Beautiful Gate and then preaching Jesus Christ crucified and risen, salvation through Christ, and now the consequences. They are punished by the religious authorities. Let God be the judge if it is better for us to obey God rather than you. Yeah, good stuff. Tension. Always tension, right? That happens when we have that Catholic impulse of the both and. Instead of cutting it, we hold it together. And we obey our conscience as we understand God working through that. We also obey the church. And I can recognize in my own formation as I was wrestling with the call to ordination, I think I've shared with you guys before. Yeah, sure, celibacy, big deal. Prayer, big deal. Life of service, yeah, big deal. Those are all of them things that had to be wrestled with. Hardest one for me? Promising respect and obedience to the Bishop of the Diocese of Cheyenne and his successors. Oh my, obedience? What does that mean? How far do you have to go? What's the line of what obedience is? I think that we encountered this tension pretty well in COVID stuff, right? Bishop of this diocese telling us this is what you need to do. For a period, no public sacraments, and then public sacraments, but with face coverings and other restrictions. The pastor enforcing them and all of what that looked like. And that tension, right? Some feeling like that was a violation of personal freedom and needing to obey God more than they obeyed, authority. And others being less struggling with that. That would be one example, but there are plenty of ways that this sort of a teaching might be in tension for us. And I think that just the place that stirs in me to pray with this story of Peter and John accepting punishment, accepting physical torment joyfully for the sake of the risen Christ is just, what's the Lord doing in us in that tension of following the church that Christ has established and following God speaking in our conscience and the call there. It's never either or. It's always a tension. It's always the both and praying into what that might look like for us. Okay. And then Mark's Gospel. Mark's stories of the resurrection are seen as kind of a clumping up, an attempt to speak about all of the different ways that the resurrection is described in Matthew and Luke and in John. Kind of a nice way to just sum up the week of resurrection stories. I don't think that I have anything really to tell you other than to spend a moment and pray with it and see what stirs in your heart. All right, friends, happy Saturday. Read those readings. Let the risen Lord be with you and walking with you this day and in this time of prayer. God bless, friends.